parsley, grape tomatoes, and a vinaigrette. It's good to see you guys again.
Got good stuff in his face, yes.
Do you feel like you need to shake it up a little bit or anything?
I got a board right there, Stacey.
You know, keep it emulsify. People get just oil and they're trying to emulsify. All right, so we're walking on these things now.
It can use just as a dip. Summer's right around the corner, so we usually have mayonnaise and kind of dips that we use. So this one's all vegetables, lime juice. It did call for oil. Olive oil is a good oil, but you don't have to use it. So I omitted that completely. And I've already made one. It's great marinated, left over in the refrigerator overnight or ahead of time. So I've made one last night, but what I've also done today is we're going to make another one because some people do not like onions. And what Stacy had said is that you do not have to put things in there that maybe you do not like, or you can add things that maybe you would like to have in there. So with that, we're going to make a new one today. We started with black beans. Fresh is best, of course, always. You can buy them in the bags at the store. They do take a little bit longer to cook, but you do have some canned varieties. Today what I've used is low sodium, so sodium is not always our best friend. When we do add it, we can add it later, but we don't need full force into the can. Always rinse your beans off and drain. So with that, I'm going to dump in our beans. It's pretty easy too. So from there, it's called for tomatoes. And I'm one that I kind of just make recipes up as I go along. I don't always follow a recipe. So it was hard for me to find a recipe that actually has specific ingredients, so I made one offline. So then it asks for tomatoes and it asks for canned tomatoes. Again, we always know that what's in season tastes better than what's in a can. And then what's in the can always has preservatives and extra additives that maybe we're not particularly looking for. So with that, I chopped up a good bunch of tomatoes, we'll say. No specific size in there. It asks for 1 can, but again, when you're adding that, the more vegetables, the merrier. So we've got that. The next thing that it asked for was corn. Again, corn on the cob roasted is lovely. Lovely, lovely. Again, I didn't have corn on the cob, so what would be the next best thing? Frozen or canned? Frozen. Good answer. So I just roasted that in my pan, opened up, dumped it in. Corn is nice when it's nice and brown. A little bit browner, a little bit better, but again, that's a preference, so you can kind of just go along with that to your likings. Again, I don't measure real well, so I kind of just dump it on.
And did you say you roasted that before?
I did roast that. It gives it a better taste, more sweet, just adds flavor to your dish rather than just.
And you can find it frozen roasted at places like Trader Joe's, maybe giant. I've not looked, but every now and then you can find your peppers that way and your corn that way. It's roasted and frozen.
So from there, it asks for red onion. Again, the one I marinated, I did put the onions in so that they would get some flavor to the salad. To this one we were making does not. So if you didn't like onions, it called for onions. You don't have to use those. From there, it has asked for red pepper. Red pepper is really healthy. So again, that was just about a whole pepper. It asked for in that. It did ask for that in the recipe, so I cut the whole pepper. I listened to that one. I did well. Sometimes recipes, especially with beans, you don't want it to kind of like stir and stir on. They come kind of mushy, so sometimes a nice just little toss around in your little bowl. So you keep it all in there though. Works well. And then it asks for cilantro, so I just got a nice head of cilantro. Slid the leaves off the stem. This is one of my favorites. Lots of health properties there. And I just chopped it up nice, and we dump that all in. And we'll give that a little stir around. So pretty much you don't really have a whole lot of cookwork going on, just a little bit of chopping going on. From there, to bring it all together, we're going to use some lime juice. Again, it did ask for oil. You could definitely use that. But today what we're going to add in is some avocado, which would make for our healthy fat rather than adding the extra oil. So know that you can always omit things. It asks for 1/4 cup. I think maybe I better stick with that one, unless you want a little bit extra. So we'll dump that in. In the event that you do not or would not like to work with fresh garlic. You can buy garlic that's already chopped. Fresh is always best, but what you're going to look for is you want it to be in water. Again, with the extra oils, you're adding more oil. So it's in water. Let me step down so I don't knock myself off. Okay, we're going to get somebody that can open
I was
that.
gonna say, if you can't get that, nobody here can.
That's bad. So it's asked for a tablespoon of minced garlic. We're going to get that in. So this is a very versatile recipe. We can use it for a dip, so we can take it to a summer party. We can have it, we can eat it just as a salad, because pretty much this is a salad. It's got all your components in it. We have fiber, we have carbs, we have protein from our beans, and we have lots of vegetables. So we can eat that just like it was. Actually today for lunch, I tore up salad greens, and inside add a little bit of low-fat cheese. Again, we don't want full fat, but we don't want the no fat as well. So you can layer that in, and then go ahead and grill it, and that will make for a nice lunch. So that's pretty easy. So we've got a recipe here that we've done just about 5-10 different things with. We've got our garlic, So we are asking for, again, this would be something that if you really like garlic, you could add some more. If you maybe didn't like garlic, you could add less or maybe none at all. So it asks for a tablespoon. So we're going to go ahead with that. And we're going to put that. So that's an alternative to having fresh garlic. There's always options that make it a little bit more speedier, a little bit more convenient if you didn't want to work with that. So as I'm looking for recipes, I kind of found, this is kind of how I work with recipes. I go online, I Google something, and I find one recipe, and I find another recipe, and another one, and another one. Well, I like all of that. So I kind of go back and start mixing things together. That's where I don't follow recipes real well. One asked, this actually was the one that asked for an avocado. So this would be our healthy fat. Wash it, of course. And I just kind of two things, wanted to show kind of how to kind of open one, just in case nobody has ever worked with one. Just kind of cut around it and give it a little twist. And you end up with the seed in one side and the other side is to get him out. Give it a twist. Voila. Pretty easy.
And plant him, and you can have lots of more.
Does it really grow?
Yes.
Oh, maybe I know it's growing.
Yeah. Put it in a mason jar with a little butt down. It makes a little root, and it comes up, and then you can plant it. Oh yeah.
Nice. That would be tonight's project. So from here, just I usually flip it over. They even actually make a little knife that can scoop right inside.
Or you can even cut it while it's still in there. Flip it over.
Exactly.
Watch this big knife.
So I'm going to kind of work with it from here. It actually does peel off pretty easily. It probably won't today because I wanted to, but it does. It peels right off. So not too hard to work with. And you can just give it a couple slices through. And then a couple chops, depending upon the size that you like. And actually, instead of putting it inside the salsa today, I'm going to pass a piece around so that everybody can taste avocado by itself. It's kind of neat when you get to try things that maybe you never have tried before and try them by themselves before you add them into recipes. So we'll get that off there. And I'll finish chopping up this. But actually that was one of the recipes had asked for mango, so that would be a way to sweeten up your salsa. Another way would be you could put pineapple in there. So recipes are always interchangeable. I sometimes think when people get a recipe and it says what it says that we're stuck with that. I'm not stuck with that. You can kind of change it. Or not follow it at all and kind of make your own. So we'll finish chopping here.
Don't ever freak out by how much fat you see listed in an avocado. An avocado is a fat. It's a healthy, wonderful fat. Can we eat a whole avocado every day and not gain weight? No. Can we have it as a healthy fat? Absolutely.
Perfect. Yep.
All right. Everyone's. I got a fork. Are you armed? It's dangerous.
Which was just hilarious because when I seen it on TV and they were actually cooking and using it, and she sliced it as I'm going to do today, I was like, oh, moly, man. So again, inside of this, pretty much about the width of my finger is a seed to the avocado. So you can kind of take your knife and kind of feel up against the
That'd be a
side.
mango?
What is it?
You call that avocado? I know it's green.
It is, yeah, I was going to say it's green, Miss D. And as you put your knife up against, you can feel the seed, and you'll kind of hear it a little bit. So you kind of slice it and push the knife into it. On the other side is another half just as well.
No workman's comp playing the knife.
Nah, we're not at work. It doesn't work here, right? And we're going to slice alongside of there. So pretty much that is your seed. There is a little piece of flesh that is around here, but other than that,
If nobody's watching, you can just suck on it and make it. It's good stuff. You don't want to do it.
so then we end up with kind of like two halves. You take it from here, stripe it down through, and let the juice run right on into our salsa.
That's some good fresh produce.
Courtesy of fresh and produce. And we're going to slice through here. So now we've just kind of scored all the way through. I was going to say, I'm going to let you do that.
Just gonna find some fruit.
Yep.
All right, so Jennifer's going to tend to a knead real quickly. It's already scored. That's what you call that, scoring it. Pop it out. There it is. A smaller knife is probably, let's see if this works, a better idea at this point. And then you just slice down the bottom. This is really good and fresh. Okay, now this is not a really sharp knife, but a sharp knife will give you that opportunity, okay? That takes a lot of the frustration out of it. And then again, if you're in your own home and you're alone and no one's watching you, have at it. It's delicious. I don't know what this one's going to do. Let's see. Depending on what people's needs and desires are.
That's very pretty.
Now, how can anything this colorful not be delicious, right? Got it? Okay? All right. That's a good move.
Stacy, tilt it up again.
Tilt it up.
Tilt
Sorry?
it up again, Stacy.
Well, you want Jennifer to do that? I didn't make it.